that are busting the bank that we have to create a national health care system to solve. I'm all in favor of national health care, but let's talk about health. Let's not just talk about health care, let's talk about health and the fact that the majority of the diseases that we're dealing with are diet-based and are actually preventable and reversible if we changed our diet. Okay, front page of the New York Times today. The burger that shattered her life. A woman was paralyzed because of E. coli. Paralyzed. Front page of the New York Times. When are people going to get it? What is bad and cruel to animals is bad and cruel to us. We are killing ourselves. And why is it that so many highly intelligent, sophisticated intellectuals can't figure this out? Why? Why is it that they can talk for 12 hours about swine flu and not figure out that keeping pigs in crates the size of their bodies, never letting them turn around, might have a little something to do with the fact that we've got swine flu as an epidemic? It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure that out. Why do they not want to look at it? Because people don't want to look in the mirror and face the truth about themselves and say, I'm not a good person. I'm not such a good person as I thought I was. I'm not such a compassionate person as I thought I was. Peace is not out there across the world, across the pond in some foreign country. Peace is right in here. And peace really does begin on your plate. I was having dinner with a woman I very much admire at the Friars Club, and I got there a little late and she had already ordered, and she was talking to me about her work for peace and her travels for peace. And her lunch arrived, and it was lamb, and it was rare, and it was bloody. And I looked at her and I said, you know, I love you and I love the work you're doing, but I'm having a slight disconnect between the blood on your plate and your discussion of your work for peace. To her credit, that woman, because she is intelligent, said, well, first she said, you're making me feel bad about what I ordered. And I said, that's not my intention. My intention is to point out the dichotomy of what you're saying and your actions. And to her credit, she decided to look into this movement, and she has radically changed her diet, and she's actually gone on radio shows with me because she's a prominent psychologist talking about a plant-based diet. So this is not an event, it's a process. But each and every one of us has to take whatever we do, whatever job we do, and use it as an agent for change. If there's a potluck at the office, bring a vegan potluck dish. If you are going out to dinner with people, be an example of change. I do believe it's a question of attraction along with promotion, and people have to see that it's good for you and that you look good and that you're energized. So we, as they say, never underestimate the power of a small group of people's ability to change the world. That's what my book is all about. I hope if there's anyone that you know that you feel needs to have a little push to make the change, you buy the book for them, because when people read it, they do make the change. One of the things that I talk about is a kindness inventory, because I'm a recovering alcoholic with 14 and a half years of sobriety. I know that the 12 steps, thank you! And I'll tell you, there was a connection, because I used to talk a lot in bars about how I loved animals, but when I got sober, then I actually had to start doing something about it. There is a connection between diet and addiction. The way Americans are eating today is addictively. Okay, this is a big, giant addiction. to fast food, to salt, sugar, and meat. And one of the hallmarks of addiction is you can never get enough. Why are people getting heavier and heavier? Because just like booze, you can never have enough. You know, one drink's too many, 1,000 isn't enough. You could say the same for fast food. And your craving becomes addictive. And we need to look at this from the perspective of addiction. And that's why I apply the 12 steps to the issue of addictive eating. And one of the other things that I do is apply the 12 steps to our consumption as Americans. In the book, I talk about a kindness inventory. Every single one of the things that you buy throughout the course of the day is not a personal decision alone. It is a political decision. It's an environmental decision, and it's a moral decision. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner we can change this planet, because if you're doing something that's just truly horrible, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting all of us, and you're ruining our planet. Okay, when I see people with plastic bags and they say, mind your own business, I said, it is my business. It's your planet and it's my planet you're destroying with that plastic bag. So I talk about putting all of our purchases through a kindness inventory. And when you're going to buy something, stop and take a moment to think about it and think about the repercussions of that plastic item or that meat item or that dairy item or that shampoo that is filled with chemicals and tested on animals. And my inventory is, A, if it's tested on animals, I will not buy it, period, end of story. Woo! And obviously, as a vegan, I don't just consider it what I eat, I consider it what I wear. And so we don't wear animals, and we don't buy products that are tested on animals. So I go through all of this in a way that's very much my story as opposed to lecturing. I just basically talk about my whole evolution from being a drunk who said she loved animals and just sat around in a bar to being somebody who's actually trying to do something about it as a vegan. So I hope you enjoy the book. I hope you come back again next year. Oh, and yes, thank you. This coming Sunday, next Sunday, a week from today, I'm going to be doing a Q&A with the noted journalist Ashley Banfield about my book at the 92nd Street Y in the evening. So I would love you to come. You can, actually Jeanette over here is 92y.org, or ask for Jeanette, she's got the information. I want to thank all of you. You guys are the future. You guys are basically the template for the evolution that this entire planet has to undergo. Okay? We're a little bit ahead of the curve.